What's going on, guys? Scar TV coming at you with another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down another Ikoria deck. Today's deck is going to focus on something I haven't played before, but has a unique concept. It's nothing really super brand new, but it's been around, but adding some of the new Ikoria cards to it has kind of give it a little bit of a revamp. We're going to be playing some Elementals. I believe Temur is the color scheme. I'm still getting familiar with the different concepts and new names for the different color types put together, because back in the day there was, like, you know, the basic single monos and then the original tricolors and stuff like that, but then they finally gave, you know, the odd matchups of colors finally have like true names. And I never really played a lot during when they first came out, so I never really got the gist of all of them, and when I did play, I only played particular color types, so I only know like those off the top of my head. Other than that, enough rambling on about some randomness before we even get into the deck. Let's hop into it. Let's see what's going on. Let's break down the deck, kind of play some games, do the things, and we'll catch you in the deck build. Alright, so pretty much this is just a 60 card basic deck. We don't play companion at all in this one. It's pretty straightforward. There's some cards you can probably look at the list and probably pull off the top of your head and be like, oh, I know that some of these cards, these cards are familiar. The deck overall has a pretty decent mana curve, as well as has good stuff to ramp up into the higher end of the cards in the deck. So pretty much we start off with Arboreal Grazer to get lands in the battlefield early on turn 1. Then we go into Leafkin Druid to produce additional mana if we get 4 more creatures on the battlefield. Fiend Artisan, I'm going to say if you have a lot of decks that can put green and or black, you're going to see this card a lot in Standard. I think it's a little underrated in the essence that people haven't really utilized him to his full potential. Other than the +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard, I think his secondary ability, being able to tap X and tap a green or black and sacrifice another creature and search for a converted creature mana cost of X or less and put on the battlefield, shuffle your library, I think is going to be something that people are not going to realize its full potential. You know, you can literally dig into your deck, get something super duper strong, and yeah, I mean, there's things you could get. Next after that, we go into the one Chandra. It's just a decent turn 3, added some extra elementals, you know, added this with the Risen Reef, which we're about to get into. Chandra plus this produces us to have more mana, chances to get more mana off the top of our library. Like I said, just trying to produce as much mana as possible while not sacrificing playing like the enchantment on tap our lands like that you normally see in Simic and or other like Nyx Blooms and stuff like that. Then we go into Omnath. This is another elemental, of course. It's like the coup de grace of elementals for our deck. He pretty much will allow us to do some pretty crazy things. He pretty much gets us to do extra damage to our opponent's creatures equal to the number of elementals we have, as well as giving us +1/+1 counter, so he gets bigger and bigger. And if we have 8 or more lands, you get to draw a card, even better. Cavalier of Thorns, another strong elemental, a good turn 5 because it's a 5/6 body with reach, and plus it allows us to look for another land. You know, just ramping. After that, we get the one Nissa, who shakes. We got the Nissa who shakes the world. It's not one, but the one Nissa, because I don't think there's any other Nissas in this block. But it gives us additional forest, allowing us to produce additional mana, as well as, you know, making creatures, and or if we get to it -8, and then we just add all the forests from our library onto the battlefield. Which, with the new tricolor lands, those actually are considered forest, as well as the dual lands, they're also considered forest, I believe, as long as it's in the card type, but we get to put those on the battlefield. But really, the additional mana every time we tap for a green is awesome for any of our X costs and or any of our big mana creatures. Then you got Illuna, who really the true ability here is the mutate. It's the 3/3 colorless plus red, green, or into blue, and whenever this mutates, like the top cards of our library into exile non-land permanent card and put that permanent card onto the battlefield, just getting us another big hit. I mean, it'd be terrible if we get the Hydroid Krasis, but we only play 2 of them, so the chances of us getting them are slimmer. I mean, you know, it is Magic the Gathering Online. Anything can happen. You can play a deck with 28 lands and still not draw a single land, regardless. After that, we got the Genesis Ultimatum, another card that makes us dig the top 5 cards of our library. We get to put any number of those cards onto the battlefield, any permanents of those cards onto the battlefield, and the rest into our hand, so we get any spells to go into our hand, which we don't really play too many of. I don't think we actually play any, looking at the list. And pretty much everything's going to go onto the field. And you got the Hydroid Krasis, which pretty much allows us to get a big creature on the battlefield, especially with all the mana rampers we do have. So drop this late into a game, you know, you get like a 10/10 Hydroid, you know, draw 5 cards, gain 5 life, and have a 10/10 flyer trampler in the air, and your opponent by that point hopefully is kind of beaten down by the time we get there and pretty much scoops. And for the mana breakdown, we have 1 Castle Vantis, 3 islands, 1 mountain, 5 forests, 4 stomping grounds, 3 bidding pools, 1 temple, 4 Ketras, 1 Bonders Enclave, and 4 Babel Pastures to, you know, help us dig and search for some lands. Other than that, that's pretty much the mana base, which works out to being 27 mana. We got 5 planeswalkers, 2 sorceries, and 26 creatures. So yes, we only play the 2 ultimatums as really our only spell in the deck. The one thing I still got to figure out is how the heck, as I do it here, how the heck do I get it so I only see, I default at islands. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments below, because I mean, it's the one thing I always forget to do, and then I get into the game and I'm like, oh man, my lands are not the ones I want. If there's a way to like default, like kind of like how you sleeve your deck with default sleeves, let me know down in the comments below. This would definitely speed up this process at least. Other than that, we're good to go. I don't know, I really like these ones. These are my only really fancy lands that I have for full arts. I mean, other than I got the cartoony Godzilla like additional arts. But from when I played this deck, the deck is pretty interesting. We are playing standard ranked. I'm not very high ranked. I have been kind of slacking, to be quite honest, in the month of April. So I'm only still in silver just because I never really got to like platinum or, you know, those things. So that's something I'm working on. The other thing too I gotta work on is, I think the downtime in between is something I should work on. Maybe do some cuts. We are going first. We do have a Ketras, we do have some Leafkin Druids, maybe hopefully draw into lands, but we pretty much could at least play everything pretty much on curve. I think we get Nissa at turn 4 at the current rate we have, possibly, as long as we draw 1 land. So we'll keep the 7, play our Ketra. I do like this board as well. Root beer dad. Okay, we're playing a guy who loves his root beer, just throwing it out there. Hopefully the other thing, guys, I want to just say real quick is hopefully the sound's better. What had happened, I did comment in my last video that that I had to re-download the game, so the game sounds got reset, which kind of threw everything off the bat, like out of whack. So everything got defaulted back to whatever the game is when we first started. Alright, so playing mill. Interesting. Playing some sort of mill. That does not help us, unfortunately. We'll play Leafkin. What we want to do here is we just want to get threats on the board. So if we draw a land, maybe hopefully a red mana source, we can play Nissa. They are continuing to mill. They're probably going to play that wall. What did we lose? We lost a forest and we lost an ultimatum. It's unfortunate, but there's ways I think we can get that back. Or at least, hopefully they don't really have too much of a play other than playing their mill card. That is not great. I guess we play another Leafkin and we say go because we didn't draw a mana. They're not gonna have any threats because their big threat in mill, because I made a mill deck previously, is that they're just gonna try to mill us. So they're just gonna try to play spells, play the counters that make the counter spells to prevent us from pretty much getting any threats on the board. Maybe it's a mill Dimir Flash. What does this do? Alright, we can't search our library, target player. That's fine. If I draw, like I said, if I draw a land, it's all good. This is fine, because it is a creature. It allows me to not get a land. Darn. So go. They're just milling us. So I don't think anything really in the new set has really got added to the meta for mill. That's the thing. Everything in the meta at the moment is very, very creature heavy. I mean, maybe they got some of the Dimir Flash cards that added in. They're looking at our creatures. All right, I guess so. I have faith that we're gonna draw a land though. Oh man, we would have drawn a land. We would have drawn, out of that we could have drawn 3 lands. We're saying final cards. Oh man, look at all those lands. Good thing we play a lot. We really just need to make a, hit at the moment. All right, that works. Sure. No. We'll Nissa here. And we will untap our island, I guess. Our one lone island. It doesn't do anything, but might as well have a threat. They're just gonna block. It doesn't tap, so it doesn't really matter. This is a weird spot to be in. I mean, you could make them burn another kill spell. So look, they're eyeing at their Murderous Rider. They also have another wall. This is going to be a pain in the butt because it exiles our graveyard, so our Fiend Assassin's not going to do a lot in that essence. I need one more mana, and then I'd be able to actually... It's an island. It's still an island of vigilance. Alright. Still an island. Interesting. Still fine. It's at 1, which is not a big deal. You just gotta figure out how to get over. So we'll just do the same thing over again. I will just make this. So the thing that's going to be interesting next turn is that this now has 4 creatures, so these now produce additional mana. So we'll get additional mana that way if they don't kill anything. Their hand is very interesting though. They have 1 card, they've milled us. It's perfectly fine. I mean, to be quite honest, this is I think what's just gonna catch them by guard because they're gonna probably be like, what he's got, and then that's fine. Let's see. I think we do this. We put it on this. No, crap. I should have done the Leafkin. Over. Of course we get Nissa.
I protect that which cannot protect itself. Behold, nature's true power.
Geez, I feel like I messed that turn up. That kind of sucks. I feel bad, really. I really feel bad about it. I guess I'll do this. Create an additional land. Hopefully get a land. They have a reaction card here. Like, that's the weird part. They have something to react to. Okay, got another Nissa. That's fine. And then we have 1 extra mana, so might as well play a Grazer. Interesting here. They have something. All right, the Brazen. I can literally block there. Not a big deal. Gain a life. Can't do anything. Oh, it's -1 actually. They want to get rid of it. Maybe they have another Ashiok. Interesting. What are we trying to do here, dude? This really sucks. This is like a really bad matchup for I'll literally make all my lands creatures. I have 13 cards in my deck. Jeez. Yeah, I should do this. I just gotta get some more threats. As much as it's gonna mill me twice. That's fine. We will go here, here, here. Now you know what? He may chump something here, so it's fine. I know things are getting blocked by walls. Very interesting. I'm very surprised he didn't take out the elemental. Maybe he wants to mill me? I mean, this is just getting sacrificed. Just looking for threats. Take action. Tapped. Island. He legit just has to like draw something to make us mill, and I think he kills us. Oh man. Take him for something. He can't attack us. I think he needs to keep his board up. I just can't play anything, to be quite honest. Do I know what's in my library? I don't. You only have one land. How many does it need to escape? 4? Oof. You're like 1 card short from milling me. Interesting. I mean, I just gotta go all out here, I guess, at this point, right? Do it! Yeah, why not? We'll just get all in here. Just stack everything. Did I Nissa? I think I Nissa'd. I don't know if I Nissa'd. I may have forgotten to Nissa, but it's a lot of damage. Blocks here, 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 and here. How many creatures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, with the 4 lands alone, it's 12, so he has to block the lands. It was kind of unfortunate that we got messed up like that. Yeah. Fortunately, there's nothing else we can do. I could have secondary Nissa, got an additional land, would have put him at 5. Yeah, I don't think there was anything we could do in that game, but that was a good game. Hopefully, the second game is better for us. We go first. I think this hand's more keepable. It's got stuff, I think, at least. Let's play one of these. There's nothing we can play, so might as well play another one tapped. They're playing some sort of is it so far. Is it red and blue, or is it more? That's the real question. It's Temur of some sort. Well, let's not take the damage. Let's play Risen Reef. That does not help us, unfortunately. It'd been nice if we would have hit the land. Turn 4, we could play the Breeding Pool, take 2, and then play the Omnath and get in damage. If we draw a land, we could play the Breeding Pool. Playing Gates, interesting. Gates, 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 gates. I still think the play here is to actually Omnath. I guess we do 2 there. Darn. No tax. Now, he has 2 gates out? Yeah, 2 gates. I need a land here. Interesting. Interesting gates ablaze. Yes, that is a Cavalier. It's not a gate. It's a 3. What do we do here? What do we do? I think it's play Nissa? Untapping. Untap. No, I don't want to lose. We'll untap the green. And then we'll play. You know, we'll just get some bodies. Just some bodies on the field. Because if these die, this gets bigger. Also, I can sacrifice and look for something in particular. Like another Cavalier or something. Question is, would he Gates Ablaze just to keep his 8/8 on the board is the real question. Oh wait, no, not you. You. What I could do is I could double block. And get rid of that. I think I picked the wrong card. It's a 4/4. Because next turn... what do I need the value for? It's gonna cost 1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can search for 4. I didn't have a good. No.
The land shall conquer you.
No, the real question is, does he want me to get all my lands? Or he gates ablaze and kill my creatures, I think. Would win if he has that. Interesting. Does he have Embercleave? No. Now the gates ablaze? Something big? Alright, Guild Summit. Tapping down to the rest of his lands. How do I do this? I don't have enough for this. I think we Risen Reef here. Resolve all. Take action. Take action. Tapped. Another forest.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I guess Leafkin Druid will get Leafkin Druid. Elemental I control? I guess I can make my land stronger. Castle Vantis. We'll play Grazer. Put in that into play tapped. I guess we'll target him. Fiend Assassin. Do I sacrifice something maybe? Two? One. No, we'll cancel. Next. No attacks. End turn. That's fine. Looking for something. Looking for something. Digging, digging, digging. I mean, the thing is, if I -8... I don't know how many forests I have, is the real question. But... I think he's... Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he's dead if he, decided to,
Spring eternal.
I'm just guessing right now which ones have what. We're about to draw a crap ton of cards. Holy moly. Alright, that wasn't as bad as I thought.
Strange and magnificent world. Rise, my elemental friend.
It's fine. It's fine. And then I think I play this one more time. Put it there. And I think if I play this, I think he's dead. Yeah, I think that's GG's. Woo! Did it! I mean, that was fairly tricky. Alright, wrapping up those two games we just played. The deck seems to play fairly well. It doesn't help that I think the first game we played against the mill deck, which doesn't help the benefit of us drawing through our deck to try to get things out onto the battlefield with the various elementals and getting lands out. And I think us getting the slow start against the mill deck didn't help us either. In the second game, we took advantage of us being able to kind of do our mechanics, use the Risen Reefs and various other cards to kind of keep on making lands come out of the battlefield. I mean, it did help that we hit the 8-drop emblem for Nissa, getting all the forests out of our battlefield, topping that with the Omnath, and then double Omnath in on top of the Omnath we already had out, and just dealing 8 damage to our opponent's face without them really being able to do anything to it, and just kind of sitting there and taking it. It did look pretty hairy. I mean, we were down to 3 life, and thankfully we got the right amount of cards, the right momentum, and our opponent had to kind of slow down what they were doing, and we just kind of took charge and pretty much won the game, I guess, at that point. I think if we would have if we would have attacked in as well, I think we would have had a good chance that our opponent would have had to block. They wouldn't have attacked the following turn. Then we would have just attacked them the following turn, like, because all our lands are indestructible, so if they block any of our lands are indestructible. We just attack through their face, and I think we would have won that way too. But all in all, the deck is fun. I know we didn't get to play the Genesis Ultimatum. We had it in our hand. It's okay. It's interesting. I feel like it's just like Illuna, where it's kind of like the abilities seems decent, but it's interesting. Because, I mean, when we played the Illuna, we got unlucky and we got the Nissa. So we already had the Nissa, so we had to make the choice of the Nissa over the Nissa, which doesn't help us in that matter. I think because this would be 5 cards, we get to choose either all 5 go on the battlefield, or if all 5 go directly into our hand or whatever, which more than likely in this deck where we're playing mostly permanents and not any like spells other than the other Genesis Ultimatum, more than likely these all end up on the battlefield. Fiend Artisan, I think, is a very interesting thing. I don't know if this is the right place for it, just on the basis of we don't really dump things into our graveyard, so it doesn't get super big like compared to its Golgari counterpart. But I think overall it's a pretty good late game big creature. I mean, a 4/4, 5/5, and then having the ability to sacrifice something and maybe looking for something in particular is very good, especially if you're looking for maybe a Cavalier of Thorns or just something to kind of like shoot something out of the sky. I mean, all in all, I mean, the thing is you probably would want to get the Cavalier of Thorns or an Omnath or something like that, especially when you get in towards that late game set. Overall, I think this deck just takes benefit of the Nissa. The Chandra, it was interesting, but I think the Chandra in our one game came a little bit too late into that mill, and we weren't able to get the momentum with the Chandra and the Risen Reefs, unfortunately. But like I said, the deck probably could use a couple tweaks here and there. I know maybe it needs a little bit more of that newness flavor, and we just don't have it. Like I said, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to know when I post more videos like this, hit that sub button. I'll catch you in the next video.